Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here. Today we are doing a new what if on the channel. And, well, as you can read in the title and in the thumbnail and what's on screen now, which will be what if Naruto could use magic, part 1. So yes, so before I start this what if. Sorry guys for not posting any what ifs or that, and just what seems like posting only games, like gaming now. Well, no, like gaming will be or Mad Games Tycoon 2 will be on Monday. Naruto, this will be on Wednesday, and then what if I think Deku. I'm thinking of doing to what if Deku. So of course, the current two most popular ones, which are what if Deku had a what if Deku had a dragon quirk, then what if Deku had a panther quirk. Those two. Doing that, but that changing every week up until a point where I end up almost forgetting about Deku's abilities, then I'll probably change. Anyway, yeah. So, I mean by that, how I'm going to do this, because I've literally seen, not seen, I have not watched anyone do this what if, so I have no idea of what they have done compared to what I'm going to do. So I'm going to, for one, chakra and magic are two separate things. So what I'm going to do is, if your parents are from a village or a hidden village or a ninja village, or if your parents are from a ninja village, you're going to have chakra. Whereas if you're like one of the more common folk, the more normal people that will request help from the ninjas, will be able to use magic. Of course, they're going to they can only use it to a limited capacity, because they don't. Some people are gonna have, some people are gonna be able to use magic, good, but that's really there's no real. They don't really see the real need for magic, because they've got the ninja villages that, have got chakra and understand a lot more about their ability compared to magic. But because we know chakra is kind of, they form like an alien form, because I don't. Oh no, I guess you could say it was an alien, but then again, it also came from a plant that was on Earth, so yeah. Up to you guys to agree to disagree on that. But yeah, I would say magic was, always on Earth. That was like the native thing. So, the old magicians and that used to, be able to do fireballs, fireballs, teleportation, and that. So I'm going to say, of course, Kushina. I'd say, because we know more about Kushina, than Minato. As as we know, of course, the Whirlpool village, the Uzumaki clan, we know a bit about them and that. So Kushina, coming from a ninja village, will be able to use chakra, whereas we don't know really anything about Minato besides from his life in the ninja village. So I'll say he can use magic, and yeah, so he's going to be one of the right exceptions where he's able to use magic pretty good. And so Naruto will be born with, and for now, I'm going to say Naruto's the only one, but only for now. So as this series progresses, we're going to run into more characters that are born with the Unite ability but don't know it. Maybe. Oh no. No, I'd say vocals. No, Naruto. Well, I don't know. We'll see how the series progresses, but yeah, that's where I'm thinking of going. But yeah, Naruto would be the only one that can use both, and is kind of he's not his chakra is going to be wind. He can use. I'd say it'd be more like kind of like magic and speaking of magic, you'd think the ability to use all 4 elements, or some people may, if you're from the US, UK, you may go, well, no, ain't that 5? Wind, earth, fire, water, and lightning, or electricity. Well, lightning's not really in nature. It's more so just static electricity, or just the static friction between the atmosphere and the ground. That's what lightning is. So I'm not going to really count that as an element, but you will be able to do lightning magic. It's just going to be not useful unless you want to power something with electricity. But yeah. Well, like the kind of more anime side would be like you need to have either a contract with a spirit, or a spirit favors you, or that. So or something like that. So I would say Naruto can use all 4 magic types. So he can use wind, fire, earth. Wind, fire, earth, and water magic. Whereas, of course, with chakra, there's the exact same plus lightning. Yeah. So most people are going to mistake Naruto's magic for chakra. Yeah. So yeah. And of course, this is going to be interesting because how is he going to know he can use magic? Well, it would be obvious in the beginning, but less obvious as he grows up. Because I would say that when you're saying the words to use the spell, you can chanting to use the spell, you have to, well, not you have to, but an indication of using magic, like a circle, a circle or sharp, saying you use a magic. Whereas if you're if you're good enough, you can do it in your head. You can break down what the spell does, and if you understand the core properties of the spell, then you're able to just do it straight from your head. Go, okay, so to make fire I need a fuel source, air. Fuel, air, and what's it? Yeah, I forget. Fuel, air, and something else. So there's 3 ingredients to make fire: fuel, air, and heat. Yeah, but the heat won't be a problem. But yeah, but because you eventually be able to understand to that degree, you'd be anyway. Mind you now, I guess up to you guys. Should Naruto still have the 9-tailed fox? Because if so, I do know a way to do it. and Kumo, but well, I would say yes. Like, even though the tailed beasts are pure chakra, they do have knowledge of magic. So yeah, and like, I'd say some tailed beasts like Matasabi that are really not, I guess really, but more friendlier to humans than the likes of Kuma and that would rather kill a person. Used to seem like would kill than anything else, but he just really wanted his freedom. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, but like I would say some tailed beasts are respected, and therefore, just some are respected. The very nicer ones are respected, where the more kind of evil, like ones, Kumo, for example, would be kind of more like want to kind of, like seal away type stuff. And yeah. Sorry for, just sorry for the constant kind of breaks and random rambling. Yeah, just want to point that out. Sorry, guys. But yeah. Yep. Forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, I was just saying, so I'd say, spells like teleporting and that will eventually get lost to time, or that's what people would think, but because the Sage of the Six Paths, was then, all the tail beasts, were there around that era, they would know about teleportation magic, but really wouldn't tell anyone because none of, I'll say for now, but yeah. Well, yeah, I guess this kind of more. Well, no, I'd say Kuma is still sealed within Naruto, but there's a different. Okay, it's different because it's magic instead of sealing jutsus, which is chakra. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So the tailed beasts would know about teleporting, water, fire, and also their different variants. So like water magic, there would be a variant of water magic would be ice magic. Well, ice magic's no magic, like different categories that you could use within water, because would need training, but you would be able to do be able to eventually use conjure up maybe even just little ice cubes to then doing stuff like in My Hero Academia, the school Vestafor arc, where usually I forget his name. Where you, the half cold Quark user, he goes up against the person with tape in his elbows. Yes, the person with tape kind of just freezes most of the stadium, or a good chunk of the stadium. So yeah, Naruto would be able to do stuff like that. Yeah. Eventually, and of course, fire, different levels of fire, different kinds of fires, and then shaping fire, having fire that can burn and that doesn't burn, willing your fire, kind of stuff. Yeah. Levitation, flying magic, which would be kind of wind. Yeah, so that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's actually get now with kind of like the world of magic and that. So Kuma is still sealed, and I'm going to explain how and why now. But yeah, so Naruto would still be the child of prophecy, but he would also say, I'd say, because I think he tells them about the child of prophecy. Well, yeah, the child. Well, I think so. No, I don't know. But I was saying this timeline, he does. He goes, my children, and he names them all. Well, he would tell them about him dying, what he does in canon, and he's going to say, there'll be a child of prophecy, and that person will be able to name all 9-tailed beasts, all of you, and he will be able to use magic and chakra. But we haven't even been able to use that. Your children, your children can't use magic at all. Like, they're born with only chakra. It's like, yes, I know. But to know there'll be a kid that will be able to use magic and chakra, well, this world will get a huge change. And yeah, he will be, he'd be recognized throughout the world. Yeah. And of course, this will change Shippuden a lot. Well, Naruto Shippuden really wouldn't even be the same. Yeah. So yeah. And then we'll, cut to kind of like post Naruto anime startup, where we see, Minato the fourth Hokage. Well, yeah. And, Kushina, where they are, and, pretty much Minato saying, Naruto, come out, Naruto, come out, and Kuma, you stay in there. Still find that, I find that pretty funny, as he goes, Naruto, you come out, and, Kuma, you stay in there. Yeah, I find that pretty funny, anyway. Yeah, so, well, even though, no, you can't really hold it back. But, it'd be, I would say it would be the third Hokage. Who'd be the one, holding back the, 9 tails, where, Kumara's Minato would be holding Kushina's hand, going, come on, just piss. Come on, I'm just going, Naruto, come on, get out. Come on, Naruto, get out there. Your mom needs her strength back now. Yeah. He's just kind of thinking that stuff. And yeah. And, of course, Naruto is born, but, of course, Minato's kind of thinking, he's a child, who knows? He tells the third Hokage, he goes, Lord Third, whatever his name is, Huru's, and that's, Huru's, and, Naruto, he may, when he grows up, he may be able to use magic and chakra. It's well, we are kind of all born from, the people that used to have magic, but, of course, I'd say, well, yeah, it's if we can, because mind you, I'd say, people that are, born, with a parents with two different parents, or not two different parents, a mum that can use magic and a dad that can use chakra, are generally gonna go, well, either magic or chakra, one of those. It's incredibly rare to, have a child with both magic and chakra usage. or if there is like one of them suffers dearly. But because like it said that Kusuno's chakra reserves were insane, and well, Minato was a quite a tactician, and he, being very smart, knew how to use his chakra reserve. So I'd say Minato would have like the same version of insane, like chakra reserve, but on magic. So his MP level, level is just insane. And yeah. So of course Minato can use all 4 magic elements. And I would say, he comes up with the idea of the Rasengan, and he'll tell, Jiraiya, he'll tell Jiraiya his idea, because Jiraiya can use, chakra, Minato can use magic. So you tell Jiraiya, and that's what, the Rasengan comes. And, well, yeah, and yeah. And then, of course, we know the masked man appears. Minato pretty much teleports. Well, no, it looks like teleport, but he can just run very fast. Like, speed enhancements. He's able to figure that stuff out. So he, enhances his speeds. So he's able to get Naruto and Kusuno to safety, and Kusuno knows that Minato is kind of on the backhand, not being able to use chakra, but she doesn't know. Well, I say she doesn't know what like Minato can fully do. So yeah, it's like there is no. Well, everyone's kind of forgotten about. Everyone knows that teleportation magic is possible. They just don't know how because they've forgotten about it. It's a lost magical art, and that they said that they would say the flying Raijin was a form of that, or the chakra equivalent of that. So yeah, he tried to figure teleportation magic out, but it just never came to him. But yeah. But he's still, known as the Yellow Flash because his just magic enhanced speed is just insane. And so, yeah. So as he battles the masked man, of course, pulls Kuma out before he puts Kusuno to safety. And Minato knows that Kusuno's not going to survive. She's only going to survive a day, and that's it. He knows the only way that Kusuno will survive is if Kuma were if the third Hokage were to give up his life and seal Kuma inside of inside of Kusuno, because I'd say the only way Minato can seal Kuma is by having someone that also has magic. So it still uses a bit of magic, but Naruto gets more magic out from Kuma, and kind of magic. All his chakra from the magic seal is transformed into magic, but also because he's got chakra is also in chakra itself, or more so his body transfers the chakra into magic, so his levels of magic or chakra are still insane, because if his magic runs low, his chakra reserves will kick in and refill the magic reserve, so then his chakra reserves will fall and his magic reserves will rise, because it's the magic the magic seal that's keeping Kuma at bay inside Naruto. Yeah. Anyway, so Minato would have come up with a way of sealing things, and then, if that was a time where he would have to, if just in case, Kuma broke out and he had to seal it, so he came up with a sealing, like a magic sealing technique that could seal the power of the Nine-Tails Fox easy inside of a person. But the person would have to be of very high chakra reserves, or magic reserves, and knowing there really ain't any besides from him and his son. So yeah, and he's truly just thinking, he knows he's gonna have to, sacrifice himself to actually seal the Nine-Tails Fox. So yeah. Well, that sacrifice comes in more of him actually blocking the Nine-Tails' finger. Yeah. But yeah, anyway. So when you promotes Kusina, Minato teleports Kusina and Naruto. As he goes, I guess this will be the last time I see you. My idea is you go, I guess so, but do you, I can bring him back in time? He's like, no, that's not a good idea, because after some time I'd have to, seal him again and, hunt him down and then seal him, either inside of me or inside of Naruto. So I think it's, the right time now instead to seal it. Like, I'll split it in half until, one half inside of me and the other half inside of Naruto. So, okay, dear, but how do you know, Naruto can even use magic? It's like, well, I'd say all magic uses, like, people born with magic can sense if somebody else has magic. It's more so like a familiar, like, kind of sense to it. It's like that person, like, not feels familiar, but they can feel the magic, and that's what makes it familiar to them. That person's not a complete stranger. Yeah. Yeah. And, you'd say that and you'd go, I guess that makes sense. So then it's like, but I can also sense something else inside of him. It's like, what do you mean? I can also sense, I think it's chakra. So it's like, yes, I'm saying he's a dual wielder. He would grow up to be a wonderful magician and chakra user. So he goes, I like that. As he would perform the seal, and he'd seal first one half inside of him, and he'd go, okay, now time to seal the other half, as Kusina's chain, not Kusina, Kuma is able to get his finger free and send it flying towards the boy, as the fourth card getting Minato and Kusina just jump in front, as of course Minato can make kind of force fields, but shields more like it, shields, but it's just like a just natural reaction, even though I'd say there are healing mages, but none that can heal him like his extent. There's a giant hole right through him, and so he's spits out blood, and he's like, time to seal you now, Kuma. Time to seal you now, Kuma, inside of Naruto. He's like, as he does, as as he's able to put at least a message also inside of the magic. So he sells some magic of his and some of some chakra of Kusuno's. Yeah. And Kusuno and Minato look at each other and say, well, seems like we'll be dying together dying together. As the third Hokage just sees them, drop to the ground as, well, Minato's still, well, not Minato, I would say now is already dead. Rose Kusuno's just, like, she's about to die. As Kusuno tells the third Hokage that, Naruto, has half of the nine-tailed fox, and that, she'll tell him what she, I guess, did kind of in canon. If she did tell him anything, I'm not sure. But yeah, that, he'll, to known as a savior, and that he can use chakra and magic. As, she goes, and please take good care of my boy. Third Hokage, and I'm very sorry. Minato and I couldn't live any longer. I'm very sorry. As she then passes away, and he Third Hokage, he's just like all his emotions are all over the place. Yeah, it's like known as the most tragic event in the shinobi history. It's pretty much one of the most tragic events. Yeah, because Minato was known to be able to survive. His shield magic was strong enough that it would shield against the eight-tailed beast attacks and that. So he was it's a pretty tragic thing to lose, one of those. So people start thinking, the village in this is weak now. Yeah, they've got people who can chakra, people who can use chakra to heal, and magic. People can, because I'd say that's the one thing that people who learn healing magic can do, is heal anyone, no matter if they're a magic user or chakra user. So yeah. Whereas of course people who learn chakra healing, healing in chakra can only heal people with chakra, whereas the human professional, the normal human folk, do have some some qualities, they can graduate a magic high school, and they know if they go into magic, not magic, healing magic, they can be scouted out by a ninja village, and then even become be on a team with a on a ninja team, because to learn healing magic is a lot faster than learning the chakra magic. Chakra healing. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so yes. And so as then Naruto grows up, because Naruto, I would say from an early age, he knows something's different, different in him, and he'll ask the Hokage, because the Hokage would visit him every so often, and not on one of his visits, the Naruto would go further Kage. I feel like different. It feels like, so you speak of chakra and that, I can use chakra and that, but it's like I feel different. It's like I feel something else. Like I feel magic, but I feel chakra, but also something else. And you go, oh, that's probably magic. Naruto, something magic. It's like, yeah, you're born with the incredibly rare ability to use magic and chakra. Your mum was known as the, well, your mum's chakra reserves were insane, and your dad was born with the ability to use magic. And they were quite high figures in the Hidden Leaf Village. And he and he could his magic techniques were insane. His magic reserves were insane, and your chakra reserves and magic reserves are also insane as well, Naruto. So yeah, but what about it's okay, but how do I use magic as well? Well, I've got some books on magic. I guess it won't be. Around this time, children. So I'd say he's around like 3 years old. So he's not in the academy yet. But this would be where he starts learning magic. So I'd say when you're around, I guess, 3 years old, once you can, walk and talk and read, most parents would teach you magic at that point. So yeah, or basics of magic, but of course, Kage knowing Minato's legacy would just give Naruto some books, because Naruto could read, because not Minato, the fellow Kage would teach Naruto how to read, and so would maybe one of the Anbu members that come around occasionally to watch him. And as I generally tend to put, which would be, of course, that Anbu member would be Kakashi. And main reason why is because Kakashi was close to Minato, as Minato was, even in this timeline, Minato was still Kakashi's mentor. So yeah. And I'm also gonna say that Rin doesn't die in this scenario. Also, main reason why of having healing mages, so like Kakashi's not Kakashi, Minato would know some healing magic, so he is able to heal what Kakashi she steps in because she wakes up thinking she's dead, but no, she's very much alive, which surprised her, which surprised Rin. And Kakashi's like, thank you, thank you, Minato, because they're still gonna think what's it's called is dead. I can't remember his name. But yeah, they're still gonna think the masked man. Yeah, Obito. They're still gonna think Obito's dead, because I'd say Minato didn't get that in time. Well, clearly not, because it pretty much an avalanche that fell then on top of them. So yeah. So of course, when I would say Rin does end up, Kakashi and Rin do end up dating one another, and of course this is when Kakashi ends up finding out that his mentor died, saving the Hidden Leaf Village. And Rin would think, Kakashi, didn't you say that, that he was his wife was having, Krishna was, having a child today, so, yeah, how about when we get old enough, we adopt him? It's like, what, are you sure? It's like, well, yeah, why not? It's like, we could train, train Naruto and that. So I would say more time than not, I'd think Naruto grows up knowing, Rin and, Rin, forgot his name again, Kakashi, knowing those two more. So yeah. And, well, yeah, of course. Well, done. So store spills out that Naruto's the, Jinchoku of the Nine-Tailed Fox. But, what, of course, the fellow guy is like, dang it, people are gonna hate him now. And then he thinks, wait, but Naruto can also use magic. And he's like, yeah, and he, tells him, he's like, yes, even though Naruto is the Nine-Tailed Jinchoku, he is also a very rare boy. Because as you know, Minato could use magic and Kushina could, use chakra like everyone else here. And well, that doesn't really make sense, because how could Minato still, Kurama? How could Naruto be, the Nine-Tailed Jinchoku? Well, that is your answer. Naruto can use Naruto can use magic and chakra. He is a very rare child. He can use both magic and chakra. I just have one now. Some people hate him, some people are jealous of him, and some people just don't really care. Kakashi really didn't care, about Naruto. He just acknowledged that he was alive. He didn't really care the fact that he was a Jinchuriki. Yeah. Well, that's, how much the villagers are going to be. They're just going to accept him, because, yeah, but they know, the magic users, well, Kuma doesn't actually have any influence over Naruto whatsoever. Yeah. Which Kuma finds annoying, but he's like, well, unless Naruto uses his chakra, then Kuma has some influence, or can. Kind of like in canon, but he actually starts using Kuma's chakra, and Naruto can do that, but otherwise no. Yeah. And the fellow Kage would go, Naruto, you're pretty lucky to be able to use magic, and as well as chakra, because, well, there's a lot of things you'd be able to do. And he's like, what? Fellow Kage, well, your sensory abilities are insane. You'll be able to sense people miles and miles away because of your magic. And also, you'd be able to conjure up, spells, you'd be able to control water, you'd be able to fly. Also, because I'd say that's what, a lot of mages also learn magic. Well, yeah, mages, that's what they learn is, flight magic. So, yeah. If they're able to use wind, they learn flight magic, and, well, Naruto can use all four natures. Which, he does also state to the village that Naruto is even more rarer. Yes, he can use, chakra and magic, which is already rare. He can use all four natures of magic. And, Oh, cause as you people know, if you can use all four types of magic, well, if Naruto can achieve it high enough, he may be able to even create lightning. So, yes. And really, his only uses for chakra would be the Shadow Clone Jutsu and the Rasengan. His magic will be like flight magic, teleportation, which he would learn from Kurama. Or Kurama just tells him that, those teleportation, and like he'd hint in such a way that Naruto would eventually figure out how to teleport. But yeah. Anyway. So Naruto's around, I'd say Naruto's around, 3 years old, and Kakashi and I think it's yeah, I think so, yeah. Tell me in the comments down below if I'm saying her name wrong. Probably am. But yeah, him, Kakashi and her, adopt Naruto, and of course, the fellow Kage can kind of can understand why Kakashi's, adopting him. He goes, well, it's more so Rin who's pushing me to adopt Naruto, but yeah. It's like, well, considering, you're quite famous, you'll be able to teach him about chakra control, whereas he'll be able to kind of learn magic from, well, the books and hopefully the other healing mages and that we've got, around here. Yeah, so, and, well, Kakashi's kind of thinking, it's like, well, how are we going to do, like his schooling? Because, does he go to a magic school? Does he go to a ninja school? Like, what we're going to do is like, and he thinks like, well, I'm thinking, why don't we do, a couple of years in magic school? So he's got the basics down and that, and then, and then let him pretty much, give him a training area in the village where he can use his magic, whatever, like, blow the place, blow that area up if he wants. It's up to him. And then bring him into the, ninja school. So he's still got the qualifications of a ninja. And, well, Kakashi would, accept that. Well, Rin would also think, that's a pretty good idea. And so, of course, I'd say Shikamaru and Toji, though, like, I'd say those two are friends with Naruto, because those two seem to be the only couple, like, the only two people that really didn't care about who Naruto was, because, as we saw, Shikamaru, when he was a kid, asked his dad about Naruto, and, his dad just said, well, it's up to you, like, I'm not going to tell you how you think, how you should think about the boy. It's up to you. How do you think about him? And, yeah. And as we know, they became, later on in the series, they became close friends. Yeah. And, anyway. So, yeah, he would, he'd be kind of, I'd say, he's jealous. He goes, well, Naruto, I'm jealous of you. He's like, what do you mean? Shikamaru, well, you get to, you're going to like a school outside the village, aren't you? It's like, yeah, but my mum and dad have only, said I am, I'm only going out there for, like a couple of years, then I'll be doing, like, coming into the, then doing, the ninja school. So they're only saying I'm only doing the magic school just to get the basics and that down. Once I've learned that, I'll be doing the ninja school and that. It's like, but yeah, but that's pretty lucky of you. You can use magic, and so you'll be able to fly and that. It's just unfair. It's like, well, I don't know. Like Naruto thinks it's like I'm not really sure, but maybe there is a way to fly even with chakra. It's like maybe if you've got like the wind nature chakra, or if you learn the wind nature, you may be able to learn the way to fly using that. And Choji thinks, being very smart, he goes, I think you're right, Naruto. Maybe that is a way to fly. It's like, yeah, maybe that is. Who knows? As I'd say, those three kind of do become friends. Yeah, and well, like the Huchiya massacre happens. That's all the same, and I can't remember. Not Kakashi. I forget his name. Sasuke. Yeah, like Sasuke's just Sasuke. Yeah, he's really gonna be the same. He, like before that, he would be kind of jealous of Naruto, but he'd also, well, no, you'd see Naruto more earlier on as a rival, because Naruto can use chakra and magic, whereas, of course, Sasuke can use chakra and the Rasengan, not the Rasengan. What's the Sharingan, or learn how to. So yeah. And as we know, he does activate the Sharingan, and when he was a little kid, it took him until the bridge builder arc to the I forgot what it's called now. Yeah, the Taizuna arc where, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. That all happens, and people like I would say the girls in the Ninja Village, they they fan probably. I'd say they would in the ninja school, they would they would so it's like even though I know none of you here can use magic. This is a a magic healer, and most of the time, most groups are going to be with 4. Some are going to be with 3, but most of the time, your team is going to be with you 3, with 5 people, so it would be 3 gaining, so it'd be like 3 gaining, 1 jonin, and then 1 mage, yeah, and and they would, and whoever that teacher is, so they learn about Kakashi, and so. And of course, that would make Shikamaru even more, slightly more jealous of Naruto. Because I'd say, Kakashi gets the fellow Kage goes, I've got a very special mission for you, Kakashi, and actually it requires you and your wife, Rin. It's like, both of us? It's like, yes, it requires, well, no, I'd say they're not married yet. They're not married just yet. And he's like, okay. As he, tell, well, as, Naruto goes after his magic school. As he, well, I'd say by now he's, he's got the understanding down of magic, so he's also, well, he understands magic kind of quite easily, so he's, like learning some, like, low level magic, so flight magic and that. So he's, he goes off, he flies to school, and as, Kakashi and Rin enter school, or, well, yeah, enter the school to, be that for the day, as, that was what their personal mission was, to go into school and, just, be kind of the main focus of a class for the day. And which Kakashi, he's just, wow, like, just why he is things. Oh wow, I guess this is better than any, mission, any other mission on the field where I could die. It's like, and she's like, oh, come on, chill out, Kakashi. So, yeah, I guess so, and, everyone there, he's like, oh my god, it's, Kakashi the Sharingan and Rin. Yeah, and, he goes, well, I won't be, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for, a healer mage on our team. That person managed to heal me from the brink of death. So, yeah, I'm very much happy, and it is very important to have a mage on your, on your team, on your squad. And yeah. So yeah. And yeah, I don't, well, yeah, they would probably teach them about, the Hokage, the fourth, well, yeah, probably all the Hokages, the third and the fourth. And yeah, of course Naruto would also be learning that part from his parents. Well, he would get a more, like, in-depth teaching about them and who they were. So yeah. And, well, even though, Kakashi kind of sees Hawaii, who is in his, not telling Naruto who his dad is, Rin is kind of getting annoyed, like, keeping, the secret of who Naruto's, real parents are. Like, Naruto knows he's adopted, but, like, yeah. And Rin's just getting annoyed that, no one's told him yet, and that, they're keeping it a secret from him. Yeah, and Kakashi goes, how about this? When Naruto graduates, when Naruto becomes a genin, we tell Naruto who his dad is. It's like, no, his parents are, not just his dad. It's like, and he's like, fine, okay, fine, who his parents are. And she goes, and I mean, in depth, I'll be the one telling him, because I don't, know, like, kind of, well, your dad was the fourth Hokage, and then, that's it. He's like, hey, I'd go more down. He's like, would you? Would it, or would it just bring back some, like, past memories that you want to forget? He's like, fine, I'll let you tell him. And she she's happy then. And I'd say they wouldn't really tell the third Hokage, because it's kind of up to them. Yeah. And so, I would say, Naruto's around 5 years old now. Oh no, yeah, I'd say 5 years old. And, people like the, gaining, like the school, like, most, all people that, around 4 years old, they have, I don't know, how old was everyone when the Mewtwo Massacre happened? Well, whatever age they were, a year after that, Naruto joined school. So yeah, I forget his name, but he'd go, everyone, this is like Naruto Uzumaki. He is a very special person. So, what do you mean? Like, they wouldn't really know Naruto, or, well, Shikamaru would know, and he'd go, oh, hey Naruto. When Naruto kind of walks in with the teacher, well, when the teacher come, well, Shikamaru would Shikamaru would know Naruto would, well, he thinks Naruto, Naruto would probably be transferred, probably, maybe in the next couple months or that. And he has made some friends in, the mage, the magic school, and most of his friends that he's made are gonna do the, healer magic. Yeah, gonna become a healer. Or that's just one of their roles, they'll be able to use fire magic and that. And yeah, some of his friends, some are gonna be, well, some really are just gonna graduate school and become carpenters, bakers, and I would say there are, oh no, I guess there would be guilds, so ninja villages, there would be guilds instead, for the normal humans. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And well, yeah, so some of his friends will be heroes, and most of them are gonna, when they get scouted out by, some of the villagers, of course. Because they're in the Fire Nation, they know the only really village they'll be scouted out from, or, can go to, is the Hidden Leaf Village. And they'd know, well, and of course, the school would go, well, this is Naruto's last day, and, some of Naruto's friends are sad. Yeah. He's leaving, but yeah. And Naruto goes, well, if you, join if you, become a healer, if you learn healing magic and that, and you can come to the Hidden Leaf Village then, and, well, I may be able to see you then. It's like, but yeah, I guess so. But yeah, yeah, they say, they say their goodbyes and that. And yeah, look, well, yeah. And yeah, so well, one of the classes I guess, well, I'll go into this later on. Maybe, I don't know, well, yeah. Later on, in the next step. Well, not next episode, but in the next part. Not in the next part, but in the later part. But yeah, anyway. So now, well, yeah, Naruto, comes in. Shikamaru's like, oh, hey Naruto, how you doing? So I'm good. And, the teacher's like, oh, I see you already know. Shikamaru's like, oh yeah, anytime we're not in school, we're hanging out. It's like, so I guess that's good. Slightly less explain. Is that, Shikamaru's not going to come out here and explain. It's like, I know that, Naruto, I know that. Anyway, so this is Naruto Uzumaki, and as I just said, he's a very special child. He can use both magic and chakra. So, what? Naruto can use both magic and chakra? Is like, yes. And Naruto goes, well, I don't really know any, kind of chakra stuff, except for what my dad teaches me. It's like, I was confused who, his dad is, and Naruto go, well, you'll find out later on, when it's, time to go home. Yeah, the end of the day. And it's like the only thing my dad's taught me, like my mum and my dad have taught me, is like tree walking. It's like tree walking. Wait, so you can already walk up, you can already walk up a tree. It's like, yeah, that's really the only thing my dad's taught me currently. Yeah. Sadly, like he said, I don't really need to learn any like jutsus like fireball jutsu or know what my chakra nature is, even though he said it's still nice for me to find out. So yeah. So Naruto will eventually find out what his chakra nature is. But yeah. But really, it doesn't really matter what my chakra nature is, as I can use magic. So, what kind of type of magic you can use? Well, of course, in chakra there's earth, fire, water. Earth, fire, water. What am I forgetting? Earth, fire. So, earth magic, water, earth, water. Is earth? I'm forgetting now. I'm gonna have to look up. You'd say them, and then Naruto would go. And of course, magic's only got fire, water, earth. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something. It's annoying me now. Fire, water, earth. Something else. Oh well. Yeah. Anyway. Naruto go, well, I can use all 4 types of magic. It's like, you can use all 4 types? It's like, yeah. Elemental magic. So elemental is like, yeah, it's like healing magic is different because it doesn't use an element or, it doesn't use a specific type. It's just healing, and of course healing magic can be, it's taught quite easily, and depending on your control of your magic, the better your control of your magic, the better the healing factor is. So yeah. So and then they go, well, I guess whatever team you're on, they won't need a mage. So no, because I'd feel I'd be the person that's filling up that part. So yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah. And after the interjections are, everyone tells them who they are, and just who they are, really. Yeah. And Naruto, I don't know, Naruto really wouldn't have a goal yet in mind. Even though Kakashi has asked him, do you have a goal? It's like, what do you mean about when you become a ninja? They're gonna ask you, what's your goal in life? Do you want to become the Hokage or just be, a famous ninja? And I was like, I don't know. And so, he's thinking of that. And then, a couple of hours later, 8 hours later, the end of the day comes. As the bell goes and everyone goes out to meet their family, as Naruto thinks, Kakashi probably won't come and pick me up. My dad, he'd think inside, well, Kakashi's probably not going to come and pick me up. Maybe Rin might. Rin probably will, because I know she likes me a lot. Yeah, and then, and he walks out, and he's just like, Mum, Dad, you both here? He's like, yeah, it's, your first day, we want to pick you up. I definitely want to pick you up, but your dad really didn't want to come. Well, no, I guess that you wanted to go on a mission instead, didn't you? So, I need to provide for my family. He's like, well, yes, I know that, Dad, but, it's my first day, or in the ninja school, that's also important, so, I guess, so. Yeah, and as everyone else, the gobsmacked that, Naruto. Well, they believe Naruto's parents are Kakashi and Rin. They even though they're trying to put, wait, so how is that possible? And Naruto go, oh, and by the way, yes, these two are my parents, but they're my adoptive parents. They're not my birth parents. My birth parents died. As Kakashi, not Kakashi, as Sasuke hears that and thinks, huh, so he's like me then. Well, he's kind of like me. His birth parents died. I wonder who they were. Doesn't matter. But yeah. Anyway, this is where I'm gonna end it. So in the next part we'll go through more of the ninja school life. And that. So yeah. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the first part, like if you enjoyed it and you want to see more just like this, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video or what if, depending on what I do. And hey, good bye.